YouTube. I'm the Beer League Goalie Godfather. Welcome to my channel. I've been playing goalie for over 20 years, so if anyone's ever been interested in knowing what's in the bag of
What's
a
in the
middle-aged
box?
goalie,
What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
So let's start off with
Brad Pitt.
so I'm
7.
using Bowers.
Nothing.
Tip
Yeah, I'm
for
the
me,
jerk. What's in the box?
Springtime, summer, the off season, that's when you can usually get the best deals on equipment. So I never had a problem with using pads from the previous year, model year. It doesn't really make that much difference in most cases. So these are the Bauer Supreme 3S. Really like these pads. I came from Warrior Rituals before GTs, and I really like these. It took a while to get used to them. They're very stiff, extremely stiff, quite honestly. They don't have a lot of movement. But the great thing about them is that they seal to the ice completely flat. I make saves I never thought I would make before just because of the way they seal on the ice. Things that should have went through me tend to. They've been upgraded with the toe ties. These are the Pro Laces Trav Spec stock, so shout out to Trav because you get the discount from his channel. Okay, I put a little pick-me-up, little wolf eyes there. Those are from Temu. You can get them for about $2. Anyways, I think they're kind of cool. They remind me of my old Bryant's Beast equipment. So that's the pads. Moving right along before we get into the bag, my sticks. So my current stick that I'm using now is a CCM. I buy pretty basic sticks, to be honest with you, for Beer League. They are, of course, carbon fiber. The thing you'll notice the most is that I put in a little bit of extra protection here. So in the past with older blockers, I had some bad luck where a puck would run up the paddle and nearly broke my finger before. Somehow it just gets past the padding. Anyway, so by putting this little block there, all it is a piece of shipping foam with tape wrapped around it. And I did it on my old Warrior stick too. I'm pretty happy with both these sticks, and they're both, you know, in the $100 range Canadian. So I'm pretty happy with these sticks in general. I do find that the Warrior stick is better for me for making saves and blocking. I can't puck handle with it worth a damn though. The CCM, I tend to actually do better with puck handling. This would be the Corey Crawford curve. Works really well for me for puck handling. Maybe a few of them get over me in terms of making a save. So something in between would be great. Just for a reference point, I use a 25-inch paddle. I'm about 6 feet tall, and as far as the Bauer pads go, I'm using large, senior size, 35 plus. I have a bit of a weird leg in that I have a fair bit of height to my knee, so I wear a bit of a bigger pad than I need to, just because that's where my knee sits on the cradle. That's just the way it goes. Moving right along, let's get into the bag. So I'm using a Vaughn bag. I had the previous, this is a brand new bag. I had the previous model of bag for about over 10 years, and it worked well for me. I didn't have any issues at all with it until just recently. Then it basically self-destructed. All the wheels came off. So I'm hoping I get just as many years out of this bag too. Opening it up, what we're looking at is my chesty. So Warrior chesty, RG5, pretty protective. Generally quite happy with it. I've never found a chest protector that actually fully takes care of my biceps. I do get stingers in the biceps for some reason. I don't know why. This looks pretty well padded. The other thing I'll say about Warrior is for my body, it feels built a little bit less than ideal. I find that the body section tends to run a little bit high, and the arms tend to be a little bit long. Maybe that's just the way I'm built. Your mileage may vary, but that would be the only criticism I really have about it. Otherwise, it's done me quite well. What's next? Well, we've got skates. So I'm pretty particular about skates. My feet don't feel comfortable in a lot of skates. These ones I've been happy with. These are the CCM SuperTax ASV Pro 3 or something like that. AS3 Pros. Okay. I like them. What can I say? They are a bit stiff, but yeah, they work well for me. I'm pretty happy with them. I've used them for about a season and a half so far. Moving right along, so I recently got into the Warrior RG6 blocker and RG6 trapper. came from Bauer Sub-Zero gloves, which I was pretty happy with overall. Although I did find that the Trapper glove on the Bryans tended to be more of a blocking glove. It was a bit flatter here, so pucks tended to bounce out a lot more. Whereas in this glove, it funnels right in, so I do find I make a few more saves than I normally would. It does come pretty much game ready. It's amazing how broken in it comes right from the factory. I've only used this maybe about 8 or 9 times, and you can tell it's really broken. Now I do occasionally get a stinger, not gonna lie about that, whereas with the Bryans, I almost never did. This has a removable palm. Don't know what to tell you about that. I love the idea because I do like to keep things clean and fresh, and I'll take it out and wash it, but haven't done that yet. Tons of Velcro. That's probably part of their philosophy of making things extremely adjustable, and at the same time I think it enables you to remove the stuff. Blocker, I'll be honest with you, I've always been a blocker as a blocker kind of guy, not too fussy about them. This does have a lot of protection. There really isn't a lot of room there for pucks to get in there, although I'm sure they will. Once again, still a lot of Velcro on this. I did find the angle to be really uncomfortable the first 5 or 6 times I used it. Almost like a carpal tunnel type thing. I just wasn't used to it. Now I've actually gotten used to it. It's not so bad at all. But otherwise, generally a blocker's a blocker. You know, it rebounds quite nicely. It's more of a bigger rebound blocker. Yeah. And we're getting into the lower section. So Warrior Jock, very protective, quite honestly. Once again, lots of Velcro everywhere on this thing, but highly protective. That's probably the best thing I can say about it, honestly. Again, a jock is a jock for the most part. I don't find there's a whole lot of difference to them. Let's see. Knee pads. So everybody has their own ideas about knee pads. If I could, I wouldn't wear them at all, but that's not realistic. I'd probably have broken knees by now from taking shots when you go down. So I used to have the Warrior knee pads. I found them too bulky for me. Other people love them. Hey, knock yourself out. The Bryans ones, I'm not gonna lie, occasionally I do get a stinger on them, and it doesn't feel great, but the mobility is worth it to me, and yeah, they're pretty compact, pretty small. Pants. Once again, I think pants are pretty standard. I've never been a really big fussy guy when it comes to pants. The Warrior is pretty good. It's got the internal belt. They're well priced. I mean, that's the thing about Warriors. You're always getting a lot of value for the equipment, especially when you get the previous year models, as I tend to. So, very well protective. Never had an issue with it. Oh, I know. I mean, pants are pants, once again. So here's where maybe it gets a little more interesting. What else do I keep in here? Well, I have my little towel set where I keep whatever jersey I plan to play with, whether it's a game or a practice. Keep a headband for my mask. I love these chamois style headbands. They soak up sweat like nothing else I've ever used. This one's made by Nash. Yeah, I can't recommend them enough. Socks, underwear. With all the stuff that happened in the past couple of years, you gotta have a cut-proof jersey, or at least some sort of neck protection. I went with the Sherwood. I don't know, I'm not that crazy about it, other because the Velcro really wore away in no time at all. So the Velcro, they really need to improve how they build that. So shame on you, Sherwood. You can be doing a much better job than this. This is only a few months old, so do better, Sherwood, please. Tights. I'm a tights guy. I don't really like wearing hockey socks. Just again, trying to keep as light as possible, even for a guy my size. Yeah, whatever you like. Under Armour, Nike, they're all about the same. And of course, a towel. Shower slides. Come on, showers are gross. You don't know what people are doing in there when they're last cleaned. Don't give yourself foot fungus. Wear some slides when you take a shower afterwards. So, keep a little rag from the dollar store, mostly used for just drying some equipment, wiping my skate blades and so forth. You get like 5 for $1. Why not? Next thing I keep is a spare bag. So I can't tell you how many times I've forgotten to pack something, whether it be my undershirt or whether it's my tights, whatever it is, pair of socks. You don't want to have to go home barefoot in the middle of winter. So I keep a spare set of just about everything in here. It may not be my best stuff, but it's something just in case I forget it. And these mesh bags are really handy. Again, you can get them from the dollar store, or in this case, it came with my Warrior pads way back when. More shirts, practice shirts. Always keep a spare jersey. Going in here. This is a bit of a weird one. It's a player jock. It was like 10 bucks. I once forgot my jock and I was really nervous playing. I didn't want to not play and let down my team. So I did buy a player jock just in case for an emergency. It's there. You just never know. Spare laces. Always keep some spare laces in there. Sometimes you're putting on your skates, the lace breaks, then what are you gonna do? Look for sales. Again, in the off season, Walmart had these ones for $1. Can't go wrong with that. Tape. Lots of tape for sticks, whatever else you might need. This is pretty cool. Ice wax. It's a wax that you put on your stick. Makes it a little bit tackier, a little bit more grippy, and at the same time I find it gives the tape extra life because it keeps it drier. Lock for the change room door. So sometimes your captain or whoever it is, it usually brings a lock, doesn't. So again, I don't want to take a chance with my valuables. You have your cell phone, your wallet, your car keys, whatever it is in change room. Keep your own lock just in case. Again, it's just from a dollar store. It's not really going to stop anybody that really wants to get in, but how often does that actually happen? So keep that on hand too. Lighter, dollar store lighter. So if you ever have a piece of equipment that breaks, a lace or something like that, a string that that breaks, with this you can burn the ends, and so that you at least can be able to thread it back through your skate or whatever you might need to do. Honing stone for your edges. So I just like to give them a bit of a run down the side just to remove any burrs. It doesn't sharpen your skates, but it does take off the edges and gives you a little bit more time to get to a sharpener another day. Over here, this is the unmentionables part, but who knows, guys? Maybe you haven't thought of it, maybe you have. So body spray, shampoo, body wash, deodorant, you know what you need. That's really about it. So that's what a middle-aged beer league goalie who's been playing for over 20 years keeps in the bag. Almost forgot. Mask. Gotta protect your noggin, guys. Even if it's empty like mine, you still have to take care of it. So what I've got in here is my water bottle. This is from Canadian Tire if you're Canadian. I really like that it has a bendable straw because it can get into your cage real easy. I don't really like spraying it all over myself, wasting a lot of water, because you never know how much you're going to need. So keep that. Once again, I've got the ShamWow style headband in there. This mask is the CCM Axis Pro, so really good mask. Probably decent weight. Maybe not the latest on the market, but it is a solid mask. I'm quite happy with it. I'm used to using a cat-eye cage, but if you use the straight bars, to be honest with you, they're not too bad either. I'm just used to the cat-eye cage, and I've been doing it for so long that that's my preference. But I tried the straight bars, and I was surprised. You actually had pretty good visibility in it, so don't feel like you're missing out on that much really by going with the cat-eye. This one has had a wrap. I usually got airbrush paint jobs before, but they've gotten kind of pricey, and the amount of time it takes to get done is a lot too. Whereas the guys at Mario Designs, I think they also have another website, GameFaceGraphics.net. They did this. So this is a Randy Macho Man Savage theme wrap. Love the guy. Growing up, he was definitely one of the most entertaining wrestlers to watch. Not really a wrestling fan per se, but at any rate, when I was a kid, got a lot of joy watching the Macho Man, and oh yeah. So once again, don't forget the dangler. Never know what you're going to get hit by in the neck. That definitely can happen. It has happened. You can see the pucks have hit me there. I do prefer dangler versus padding, but different people like different things. Again, for me, it's important to stay cool, have a lot of ventilation, and I prefer this. And I haven't really had an issue with it. Pucks hit off that, and I trust this more actually than I would a collar. But again, different people have different opinions on that. You do what you like. So in here, there's a little pouch. And I like to just keep an extra sweatband in here, just in case. Because again, sometimes you wash your stuff, you forget to pack certain things, it falls out in the laundry, you just never know. So thanks again, folks. Remember to smash the like button, or don't. I'll be okay either way, and I'm sure so will you, but it's always nice to get the likes. All right, take care.